Hello, Titan fans. Mike Greenlee, Baseball Media Relations Director, here today with former Titan Kurt Suzuki of the Oakland A's. Kurt, thanks for taking the time to sit with us.
All right, no problem.
It's probably pretty enjoyable for you to come back to Orange County and hang around your old stomping grounds for a few days, right?
Yeah, it's great. Just being able to see a lot of my old teammates, which are still my really close friends, coming out, seeing me, and my family. My wife and her family are down south, so it's just great. The weather's great, atmosphere is great. It's great to be back in Southern California.
Let's go back about 10 years. You're in Hawaii, one of the best baseball players on the islands. What are some of the reasons you decided to pack your bags, head to the mainland, walk on to one of the best college baseball teams in the nation in Cal State Fullerton?
Well, one, I wanted to get away. I wanted to grow up. I wanted to be able to live on my own and to kind of experience life, without my family. I think the only way to be able to grow up and to mature is to be out on your own and learn how to live by yourself, have, a lot of, I guess, what do you say, responsibilities without your parents telling you what to do. And two, I wanted to be in the best program that I could be in. I wanted the challenge. I wanted to strive for the best. I wanted to strive to be the best. And, there's no better place than Cal State Fullerton. Always a powerhouse every year, always going in the College World Series. And, my dream was always to play at a top-notch Division I program. And, Cal State Fullerton was one that really caught my eye.
Talk about your time at Cal State Fullerton. Was it what you thought it would be when you left?
Absolutely. It's just a great, not just the atmosphere, but the communities was great. Great area. School was great. It wasn't too big. You could walk around the campus within 10 minutes. And just kind of, the team, the team chemistry, the family. It was very family-oriented. Like, everybody was a close-knit family. Everybody hung out together and stuff like that. So I thought it was great.
You were the backup catcher, then a platoon catcher, first baseman, then the catcher for the Titans. Kind of a step-by-step progression while you're at Fullerton. Did that help you pace yourself in the minor leagues? Because you kind of had to do that in the minors as well, do a step-by-step to get to the big leagues.
I don't think so. I think it was more of a fact that we had so many great players. PJ was the other catcher, who is one of my best friends, still is one of my best friends. And, he was such a good player that, Coach Horton wanted to get us both in the lineup at the same time. So a good way to get us in the lineup at the same time was, me and PJ switched off at first base and caught, and then I became the catcher and PJ became the full-time first baseman. So I think it was good. And, I don't think anything less. I think, it was a perfect situation for us. It kept us both fresh, both in the lineup, and, we won, so it obviously worked.
You were one of the many heroes of that 2004 team that when Cal State Fullerton won the national championship. Talk about that experience playing on the biggest stage of college baseball, and talk about some of the memories you hold on to when you look back at that season.
Oh, that's something you'll never forget. I mean, I still remember the day we started 15 and 16. Guys were writing us off saying we might be the worst team in Cal State Fullerton history. It was bad. It was a bad start. But at the same time, we as a team might have came closer because we knew what people were saying about us. And, we held a team meeting and said, guys, turn this around. We got a second half. We got conference. We just come out, play hard, stay together, stay with one another, and, you never know what will happen. And we ended up pulling off that great run in the Big West. Windsor, Romero, Mike Martinez, and then, our offense found ways to score runs. And, we pulled off, I guess, one of the best seasons, until Fresno State obviously won. But to do what we did was special, and it's something I'll never forget. The friendships that I made, and it was just awesome.
Have you found that what you learned at Cal State Fullerton has been beneficial to you at the big league level?
I think it was the fundamentals of the game, learning how to play the game the right way, learning how to play the game, learning how to play the little parts of the game, situations. Just Coach Horton, Serrano, Coach Vanderhook. They just instilled, this knowing the basics, fundamentals of the game. And people don't realize how important the basic fundamentals are because it's hard to learn once you get into this level. You need to be brought up the right way. And I thought, playing at Cal State Fullerton under that coaching staff was just the best thing that could have happened for me.
Switching gears a little bit, you've received a lot of accolades over the past year for your help in fundraising for your former teammate and friend John Wilhite and his recovery. What inspired you to be the guy to spearhead that effort, and where did you get the knowledge to pull off such a large-scale fundraising effort?
Well, a lot of it was, me and my wife, Renee, we talked about it, and You know, like I said, you know, when we played together, we were like a family. You know, we were so close that, you know, we thought of each other as brothers. And, you know, when your family member is hurting and, you know, struggling, you want to be that person to step up. And, you know, I feel like I'm in such a fortunate position that, you know, I have all these resources that, you know, I wanted to do whatever I could, no matter what I did. But, you know, fortunately, I was in the big leagues, and I had a lot of resources to be able to do a lot of fundraising, and I wanted to do anything I could to help John. And, you know, that was my number one priority, is to make sure that I did everything in my power to help him recover from this.
Your manager, Bob Guerin, has said that you are revolutionizing the catching position with your hustle and athleticism. What or who do you attribute the way you play the game to?
Well, I think it goes past baseball. You know, it goes to just life in general. You know, my family, my parents growing up, they did everything they could to provide for me and to provide me, you know, with everything that I needed and wanted. And I think that instilled a lot of my character where, you know, everything I do, I want to do it 100%. I want to give it 100%. I want to leave nothing else. I just want to give it all I got, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to look at myself and say I did everything I could to succeed. And, you know, whether I succeeded or not, you know, if I gave it 100%, I'd feel okay with it. So I think my parents really, really had a lot to do with that.
From your viewpoint, what are some of the biggest differences between the college game and the professional game?
You know, there's a lot of differences. I think the big difference is the talent level and the consistency. You know, in the big leagues, it's a whole different ball game. You know, you also got players from around the world that are the best at what they do in their countries coming over and playing the major leagues, which is, you know, just kind of, I guess, putting a whole different spin on things. And you know, I think the talent level is tremendous here, and this is as good as you're going to get. This is the best as you're going to get, and the consistency every day. You see guys, I mean, playing against the Angels, you got Torrey Hunter, Bobby Abreu, Hideki Matsui, guys who do it every day on a consistent basis is the big difference.
How do you manage the physicality of being a catcher over a 162-game season? It's got to take a toll on your body. What are some of the things you do to stay fit over the long haul?
Well, it's not easy. I mean, to keep on your weight and your muscle mass during this season, it's tough, you know, because after games you don't want to work out because you're so tired of playing, but at the same time it's that drive. You know, you want to do everything you can to be the best, and you want to succeed, and you want to work hard. And to me, I lift a lot of weights, you know, every day after games. You know, I do a lot of conditioning, and a lot of it starts in the off season. You know, you put on a lot of muscle mass in the off season to give you that extra leeway during the season to kind of, you know when to push yourself, and you can take some days off just because, you know, you work so hard in the off season.
Have you ever crossed paths with any of your baseball idols, or have you ever been starstruck by any opponents or teammates?
Well, my first start, I remember, was against the Cardinals, and Albert Pujols stepped up to the plate, and everybody knows what Albert Pujols does, and MVP, All-Star, the whole shebang. And, you know, stepping in the box, looking at Albert Pujols, it looked like he was 8 feet tall, and he was huge. So, and that's the first hit me like, wow, I'm in the big leagues, I'm playing against the best. So it was cool.
Over the years, who's been the best player you've ever played with?
There's a lot. I mean, from Frank Thomas to Mike Piazza, you know, Eric Chavez. I gotta say, you know, the most consistent I play with on an everyday basis probably was Mark Ellis. I mean, to me, he's the most underrated second baseman in baseball. He just goes about his business professionally. He'll hit, he'll make every play, and it's tremendous. I mean, he doesn't do anything flashy, which is probably why he doesn't get any recognition, but to me, on a consistent basis, he's probably one of the best players I've ever played with.
Who's the best pitcher you've ever caught?
That's tough. I mean, Houston Street, you know, he wasn't too bad. Andrew Bailey, you know, Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Star. And then you got some of our guys, Trevor Cahill. You know, there's a whole bunch. You know, it's hard to put one specific name on it.
In your opinion, what baseball city has the best food?
Seattle, by far.
Any reason why? Any particulars?
They got some mom and pop shops. They got great sushi, of course. You know, sushi. But I don't know. Seattle is probably my favorite. You know, besides coming home to Southern California, Seattle's probably my favorite place to play.
And then lastly, what's your favorite ballpark to play in?
Anaheim. You know, come home, great atmosphere, great playing surface, great clubhouse. Fans are great. I mean, it's just, you know, it's the best of both worlds for me. You know, this playing down south.
All right, well, that'll do it with former Titan star Kurt Suzuki. Thank you, Kurt, for sitting with us, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, thanks.